Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today I have something super fun planned for us. I ended up getting a new table to go on the road with. Now this is something that Mountain House sent me to try out to see if I liked it, and I'm so excited because I was having a little bit of a problem. Now you guys have seen on my channel I have this tiny little fold out table which I really love. It's great for conversation and great for setting up a small camping setup. However, it's super tiny and it's not tall enough to really do things while standing. You have to sit down to do it. So I thought this was a great way for us to upgrade, but also not take a huge amount of space. Now, as you guys know, I have a roof box, and up there I have all sorts of cool things that I can use on the road. Previously, this would not have been an option because of the amount of space that it would take up. However, now it's definitely an option. So today we are going to be setting up the camping vibes table here. I'm super excited. This is going to be super fun, and I left some information on here from the actual vendor. You can get these at a variety of different places, including REI, and this is a collapsible full-size table that we could actually sit chairs around and use for dining, or we can use it for cooking and other things around camp. So with that said, let's start off by saying this thing is super light, and so it's really easy to pull around, but it also has this little strap to make it even better. Now this is by the company Polar, and they make a lot of really cool camping products that are designed for people who like the outdoor lifestyle, but also they're great for van life because a lot of their products are compact like this. But don't just believe me, let's go figure out how this thing works and see exactly what we can use it for. I'm really excited. This is gonna be so epic. Now first and foremost, it's going to be time for us to take it out of its little protective sleeve. Now everything we need is inside of this, and I will say that it is about 3 feet tall if you're looking at it. So kind of a reference here, maybe a little under 3 feet, but not super big. Now this can actually fit into my roof box in this way or this way. So it's kind of sizable in theory, but at the same time, not too sizable for a good, nice space. This would also fit kind of up against my back door, but it would just make it a little bit cluttered. So that's why I hadn't pursued one of these until the roof box. But going forward, it's now time for us to pull it out and see what's inside. But before we do, I wanted to show you the little tag right here. It says adventure table, and this is Polar Stuff is their tag, but also you can find them at #campingvibes or polar.com, and their little logo looks like this. So cool stuff. Wanted to leave this so you could see it, because sometimes just seeing something, it triggers a memory whenever we're in a store. And well, let's face it, we all have a running track list of things that we might want, and so keep this one in mind. I think this one's gonna be a good one. Okay, it's time. Into the package we go, and the first thing that we're pulling out is what appears to be the fold-up tabletop. So this is the fold-up tabletop, what it looks like. I'm gonna set that up against the van for just a moment, and we're going to move into the next portion, which happens to be the legs. Now, this is the basic structure for the legs right here, and it just pulls out kind of like a little accordion. Now this might not look very big, but it's going to continue to expand. So I'm gonna set this flat for just a moment so we can dig in to this last little section, which in fact are the connecting pieces. Now on these, there are very clear markings as to where these connecting pieces go. They only fit one way, guys. And so as we're putting them in, there are small holes right here, and so these holes and these holes. So we're gonna figure out which one works best. I do believe that with the small holes you can make a smaller table, and with the large holes you can make a larger table. So let's kind of pull it out just a little bit more so we can make the big table, and it just stretches as you go. Then we're going to use the large holes, align it somewhere in there. Ooh, there it is, it snapped into place. Okay, so as you can see, we have a little bit of a hangover there. So then we're going to pull it out some more. And I think that as we pull it out, these will stretch up. Sure enough. So Huh, interesting. Very interesting. I didn't have them aligned correctly, I don't think. Maybe? Maybe? We're learning together, guys. I think this might only fit in one way, but I'm not sure. So, let me see if there's instruction. Okay guys, I figured it out. So we go with the more narrow ones first to connect to the base, and then these taller ones actually connect to the tabletop itself. This makes so much more sense. I was super confused because I saw whenever I was looking through it that the little tabletop also has some connectors. So the light bulb went off and was like, oh yeah, silly me. You know, this is why we do these things on the channel, so we can learn together and you guys get to get a good laugh while I struggle through it all. It is what it is. But let me go ahead and put this one in place and then we'll snap down the tabletop. Okay. Boop. Maybe. Boop. Ugh. Maybe. I'm always afraid to push down too heavily because, you know, sometimes you can get a little aggressive, but everything's in place, and that really secured the structure a lot more. It's not wiggly as much as it was. So now it's time for us to put on the tabletop. Okay, so the tabletop itself has a plastic on top, which I'll eventually remove, but not yet. Now we're looking to secure these little brackets right here into these little holes. And so let me show you what these look like a little bit closer. There they are. You can see they have the little spike in the middle, and then they're just a regular connector. And this is what the holes that it connects to look like. So now that we know what they look like, I'm just going to try to fold this out and over the holes and then pop it into place. That seems to work pretty well. And same thing for this one. And then I'll stretch it this way and do the same over here. And then we're good to go, it looks like. Now this again does have a protective plastic, which eventually I will have to remove, but just pulling it off, you see that it just kind of tears away. This might be easier to do when it's not on the table itself, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it's like, and that's going to be a whole process by itself. But for now, this is the table, and oh my goodness, I'm very excited and pleased at the same time. And this is a perfect height for me to be able to work at camp. I think that that's one of the things that I've been really looking for, and I've tried a variety of different kinds of tables along the way, all of which are folding out but take up a lot more space, even though they're a flat fold. And so this going into the roof box like it is and folding up but giving me so much more space allows me to do a lot. And so I'm very excited to put this into use as we continue to travel together. Not to mention, I could cook and prepare my food completely on this. Now, normally I use my pop-out table, which looks like this. Now you can see, it's a great pop-out table and it's an awesome option for me cooking. However, if I do set up at a camp, having the ability to spread out a little bit more is very nice, because not only will my stove fit here, but I could also put like my chopping board and things like that, or all of my prep items on this table. And I can't do that on my little fold out in the back. So this is a great option because it is a little bit larger and gives me that space. But also, if I wanted to have a game night, this is big enough to have game night. This is also big enough for me to set up with another person and both of us have our laptops out and be able to simultaneously work. Now that is a huge win in my book, because a lot of times I do travel with others. For example, right now I've been traveling with Aussie Van Man, but I've also been traveling with Riley recently. And Riley and I really enjoy doing a good outdoor edit, because there's nothing better than being out in the space that you're exploring, just really soaking it in. And we did a lot of that, especially in the Pacific Northwest, but we had tiny tables and it made it much harder. So I wanted to share today with you guys my new table so you could kind of see what it is. If you're interested in a fold-up table of this kind, this is a good one. I definitely recommend it. Again, this came to me from Mountain House. Mountain House really enjoys the Polar brand, and so they wanted to share a brand that they love with us here on the channel. Remember guys, now a couple of other things about this table before I wrap up this video. So what if we have this and we want to move it? Can we just pick it up and take it someplace, or do we have to collapse it down and then move it? No, we can in fact move it as is. Watch this. So if I'm wanting to move it, all I have to do is pick up from below and up we go, and we move it to the new place that we need it. Super, super simple. Now, if you do happen to want to move it and you pull up on this part, you'll notice that it does buckle. But the legs, that's how you do it, and you can take it literally anywhere. Now, how much weight can it hold? I don't know. I'm not gonna test it out for sure, but I'm pushing down pretty hard and it's doing pretty well. So, really pleased with this, and I definitely know this is going to be handy around my van camp. Of course, as always, there are tons of options out there, so if you have a table that you've used in the past that you've really liked, leave it in the description and maybe I'll try it out in the future. I'm hoping to do a video soon about all of the different tables that I've used and why I recommend them for different kinds of things, and then also how you can find the perfect table for you. But for the time being, this is the one that's got my noggin all in a tizzy. I'm really enjoying it, so I wanted to reach out and share it with you guys. Remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and sometimes just finding something that checks the boxes is absolutely that. Till next time guys, bye!